everybody, I'm Katie. Welcome to the Book Buddies. I am back. I've been back for about a week actually, but I took last week off from BookTube because I just needed it. I was so tired. So sorry about that, but yeah, this video is going up today, and then I do have my Weekly Geek already and stuff for the weekend, and I'm thinking with Weekly Geek I'm just going to keep it in the summers, so I'll have like season 1 of Weekly Geek, which will be this summer, and season 2 of Weekly Geek, which will be like next summer. You get it? Does that make sense? Good? Okay, just making sure you knew all that. And now on for the actual video. This video is going to be my June wrap-up, July TBR, even though it's like the 14th, and a short haul of books that I bought while gone. I only bought 3, so you know, not that much, and I didn't, yeah. Anyway, so for what I read, a lot of them I don't own, so I'm going to just read them off, or I do own, but they're in there, and one I don't own, so the point is, we're just gonna do this this way. Okay, so the first books that I read this month were The Horse and His Boy, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Silver Chair, and The Last Battle from the Chronicles of Narnia, the last 5 books of Chronicles of Narnia, all by C.S. Lewis. I gave them an okay rating. I mean, they weren't fantastic, but they weren't bad, you know? Okay, you can hear more about them in my other wrap-up from earlier this month. Point. Never mind. Going on. The next book that I read that I don't own is The Last Guardian. I listened to that, an audiobook. Again, those 6 I read / listened to for, what was it called? The readathon from June, the first week of June. And then the other books that I read were The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. This book was actually really good, a lot better than I was expecting. There were some things in it that I'm still not sure what I think about, so I gave it a 4.5 instead of a 5-star, but it was a very solid little story. It's interesting. It's the first fairy tale fantasy novel I read that was you know, a standalone, but it was still really good, and I really like Holly Black's writing style and that kind of thing, and she really likes fairies, which I'm okay with, because I like creepy fairies too. Next book I read was The Arithmetist. I finally finished it earlier this month, right before we left actually, so fan-freaking-tastic for me. I need the next one. I need it, but it doesn't come out for another 2 years, possibly, because this is like the 3rd time, I think, they've changed the date, so who knows, but yeah. Anyway, and then the last book I read in June was the book I read on the first day to Idaho. I basically read it in like an hour, and it was the first volume of Dragon Ball Z Vizbig. This is the 3-in-1. It's the first 3 volumes in one big thing. I read this, I was like an hour and a half, because I took a break halfway through because I was like, I'm reading this too quickly. I'm reading it too quickly. So yeah, it was really good. I've watched most of the anime, and so I knew what happened. I mean, I know what's going to happen in this show series. Not all of it, but I mean, I know from this and probably the next book what's going on. Because, you know, I mean, it's a popular series, so I gave this 3.5, 4 stars, I think. I don't remember. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I really did, and I like Akira Toriyama, I almost said Torimoto, Toriyama's art style, and I like that they're every once in a while like colored in pages, even though they go from being one way, one page, to different the next. Like, do you see Bulma's hair? It goes from purple to red. Anyway, And then those were the books that I read in June. Now for the books that I read in July, I've only read one so far, finished one. Or for the books that I'm going to be reading in July is what I meant. I've already finished one, I'm working on another one, and then I'm going to have some more after that one. But the one that I finished was Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. I'll talk to you more about this one in my wrap-up, but it was pretty good. I liked it. So I'm reading / have already read this one. And then I'm reading right now The House of Hades by Rick Riordan. I'm kind of... The last day coming back from Idaho, I ended up reading this for 6 hours and got halfway through. With breaks in between, of course, but I got halfway through in that amount of time, and since then I haven't read any because it's like, I don't have the next one, I really don't want to finish it yet, but I'm gonna have to, so I'm probably gonna finish this one within the next week or so, because I want to know what happens next. I mean, I do, and if I'm not careful, I'm gonna end up losing where I was, which wouldn't be good. And then after I finish this one, I'm just gonna reread the Percy Jackson or the Heroes of Olympus off of my Nook because I want to, and reading this has really got me in the mood for the rest of them, so it's happening. And then hopefully after I've done all that, I can buy the next book. Hopefully. Maybe. If I can find it for cheap, because hardcovers are expensive. Okay, and then the books that I bought in Idaho, like I said, I bought 3 books, and I bought one extra thing that is a book, but it's not like a reading book, and it's really cool. The first book I bought is Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore, because, you know, I didn't own it beforehand. And I bought this and The Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey, both at the same place, at that little bookstore that I was telling you about that I really love. So I bought these two for $23, which was really, you know, nice, because I could have gotten hardcovers for $25, one hardcover for $25, or you can get 2 soft covers for the same price, even a little cheaper. So, you know, that's nice. I'm not really sure what this book is about, but I like I like the title, basically. I really like the title, and I kind of know what it's about. It's a guy that, about the apprentice of somebody who studies monsters, and it's supposed to be like a horror, like slight horror mystery, I think. So, you know, that's interesting. And then the last book that the next book I bought, which is like a book, is probably the most embarrassing one that I bought, and most ridiculous one. But I bought it at a thrift store, and it is Stephen King, The Eyes of a Dragon. And I'm a sucker for dragons. So, I really don't like this at all. This is pretty nice. I like the way this looks, but this thingy, just the most 70s looking, just, So I like this, and it's like green. I don't know. I like it. And I don't know what it's about, really. Because the flappy thing in here is kind of bent and torn, so I can't actually read it. But it seems interesting. I'm a sucker for dragons, and everybody talks about how great Stephen King is. So I was like, you know what? It's only $1. I'm going to get it. So I got it. And I have no idea when I'm going to read that or where I'm putting it on my shelf. But, you know, that happens. And then the last thing I got while in Idaho was this really cool coloring book by Kirby Rosanes. I've done a couple, like 1 or 2. I've done one, my sister's done one, and my brother has done one. This one's the one that I did. So, this page is, I don't know, I haven't finished it yet, but I don't know what else to do, because I've only got a very limited amount of colored pencils. For an artist, I do not keep colored pencils much. So, you know, that's a thing. But anyway, that was the video. I'm doing it super quick because I'm being rambly because I'm really kind of hyper. So, yay. My hair probably looks weird with this thing in it because I don't usually put my hair back like this, but that's okay. So, oh, that tastes good. Why is does it always fail me? Ugh. Anyway, guys, I will see you Saturday with my Weekly Geek. I think you're going to enjoy it, and or at least I hope you're going to enjoy it. But anyway, until then, bye! That is not the right place. Where's my place? Ah, it's this way. Found it. Bye!